From the News Channel 5 Network, this is SportsLine.
Welcome into SportsLine, everybody, right here on News Channel 5 Plus. Great to have you with us on the Wednesday extravaganza. I'm Jon Burton with you for the next hour. Plenty to get to tonight as we roll right along in what has been already an eventful week here in Nashville. Coming up later in the show, of course, we will hear from the Tennessee Titans. They were back on the practice field today at St. Thomas Sports Park. Of course, they have the bye this weekend, the playoff bye. They're the #1 seed in the AFC, so no game for the Titans this week, and they'll find out who their opponent will be the following weekend in the AFC divisional playoff game. So the Titans in a very advantageous position right now. Bye week, #1 seed, home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs. So as long as they are alive in the playoffs, they will be playing at the friendly confines of Nissan Stadium. So we will hear from the two-tone blue coming up later on in the show. But first, thought we'd start out by giving some love to the Nashville Predators. I mean, we know that over the next several weeks, for as long as the Titans are in this playoff push, you know, they're probably going to get the bulk of the headlines. That's just the natural order of things. I know there are a lot of hockey fans out there feeling like, well, you know, the Predators aren't getting any recognition, any attention. Well, they are in this segment, certainly. A big win, overtime win over the Colorado Avalanche last night at Bridgestone Arena. One of the more exciting games of the season. Two of the best teams, certainly in the Western Conference, at least so far from what we've seen this season. The Preds get the win. Matt Duchene had 2 goals, 2 power play goals, including the game winner in overtime. We're going to hear from him in just a second. But you look at where the Preds are right now, the top team in the Western Conference, 3 points clear of the aforementioned Colorado Avalanche for the top spot. And the Avalanche came in pretty red hot, riding a 5-game winning streak. But the Preds, as we said, 8-1-1 now in their last 10 games. They seem to have it on cruise control right now. And much like the Titans, the Predators are showing depth, and they're showing that they can win in a variety of ways. Certainly some exciting hockey here in Nashville with the Predators. Didn't quite know what kind of team we would have coming into this season based on how last season ended. A big lull for the team during last season. All of a sudden they picked it up late and lost in 6 games to the Carolina Hurricanes in the first round of the Western Conference playoffs. Obviously, they seem to be looking for bigger and better things this year. So let's hear from one of last night's heroes, Matt Duchene. 2 power play goals last night for the Preds, including the game winner in overtime. Matt Duchene certainly seems like he is finding his stride finally in his 3rd season as a Nashville Predator.
Matt, such a talented team there, the Avalanche. I think they'd won like 5 straight by coming from behind before tonight, and they kept coming back tonight. What does it say for your guys' resiliency to kind of outlast them, you know, and get a win over one of the top teams in the conference here?
Yeah, no, obviously it was kind of the 2 probably top teams right now currently in our division going at it, and we knew this was a really good kind of measuring stick and statement game for us to show that we were for real, and they're a heck of a team. And obviously, you know, we probably, I'd love to see the chances for. I know Kemper made some big saves when he needed to, and you know, they were opportunistic. I mean, that's what they do. They're highly talented, and they can change a game in a hurry. And obviously, they've been doing that last few games where, you know, they just impose their will on teams late and come back and win. So, you know, we knew that. We knew they were going to push, and you know, luckily we're able to outlast them.
Brooks Bratton.
Matt, what does it say as well? I mean, you guys you've won 5 straight here in the new year, and everything's a little bit different. Every game's a little bit different, and you guys still find a way. What does that say about the identity, the resiliency of this group that right now, more often than not, you seem to find a way no matter the circumstance?
I think, you know, for a lot of us, we've gone through a lot of adversity. Obviously, I heard the one question about me earlier, and you know, there's a lot of guys that were, you know, kind of in the same boat as me, and people questioning us. And, you know, when you kind of hit rock bottom or you hit adversity, it's about how you bounce back, and it's what you do next that's important. And, you know, we were never going to let this team get disbanded and let this team go to waste in terms of talent we had. We have too much character and too much leadership, too much care in that room. There's too many guys that, you know, give a damn, I guess. And, you know, I think we're finding ways to win different games, all different types. I mean, you play a game against Arizona, that's a very different game than tonight, and you win both games and you take care of business. And I think just our ability to stay even keel and no matter what the game, no matter what other teams throw at us, whether we're down 3-0 in Washington or whether we're up tonight 2-0 and they come back and tie it, we're just level the whole time.
Justin Bradford.
Hi, Matt. So obviously we talk a lot about the skill for the Colorado Avalanche, but with the way this team has performed, obviously they had the 7-game win streak back in December and now on a 5-game win streak right here. What does it say about the skill level of this team that people have maybe been underestimating the team here, especially with secondary scoring continuing to creep up as the season progresses?
Yeah, I mean, when I came here, it was, we were ranked on, by all the experts, 4th in the NHL coming in. And we were ranked that way because of our talent. Unfortunately, we weren't able to put it together and play the game on the ice the way that we were, looked at on paper. And I think you look at kind of what we've been through and where we're at now, we're playing the game on the ice the way we're capable of. And we're living up to, the skill that we have on paper. And then we're getting, we have a guy like Jeannot who's having an unbelievable year, and guys like Sissons and Trennan, and, obviously Trennan didn't play tonight, but then you call McCarron, he does his thing. You got Tomasino, who's going to be a stud in this league. Carey on the back end. I mean, Benning we have guys just stepping up. Orbietsky, I mean, you saw it tonight, like this guy blocks everything. He just stands in front of everything. So we have just guys just playing with whether they're skilled or whether they're, more meat and potatoes. You have guys playing to their identity and playing the same way. And we're getting results for it.
All right, we'll do one more for Matt, and then Luke Cunning's been patiently waiting here. Jim Diamond.
Matt, how big do your eyes get when you see a puck like that deflect off of a block shot and have a look at the net like that? Yeah, that's a good feeling. Good feeling for sure. I just bounced out, obviously kind of an open net. I just had to hit my spot, and I didn't have a ton of time to think, which is always good too. You just kind of let your body take over. Our special teams were good, and obviously we gave up the one power play goal. It was a great shot by McKinnon there, but our PK did a heck of a job early on, and then our PP stepped up when we needed it. So our special teams have been a calling card this year, and even our PK, we're maybe not been rewarded in terms of our rank in the league and percentage wise with what we've done, and guys are sacrificing themselves. And at the end of the day, sometimes it doesn't show up on paper what they're doing. They're doing a lot of good things.
Predator fans, no doubt, happy to see Matt Duchene off to such a great start this season. Of course, signed here as a free agent a couple of years ago. Wanted to sign here. He had previously owned property here in Middle Tennessee in the Nashville area. And, remember the David Poile, the Predators GM, traded away PK Subban in part to free up money to sign Matt Duchene. And, his first couple of years here, we hadn't seen much, but certainly it probably began with last year's playoff series against the Carolina Hurricanes. Even though the Preds lost, he had a big goal in overtime to win one of the home games here, and certainly showing why he was so coveted as a free agent a couple of years ago. And the Preds certainly are reaping the benefits this year as Matt Duchene is just off to an outstanding start in terms of goal scoring. Again, 2 power play goals last night, including the game winner in overtime as the Preds get the win. They're back at it tomorrow night against the Buffalo Sabres back at Bridgestone Arena, and everything clicking right now for the guys in navy, blue, and gold. Let's hear from the captain now, Roman Josi.
Said that this was a measuring stick game for your team, and you guys were excited, anxious to see how you matched up against Colorado. A little bit of everything tonight, but how do you sum this one up?
Yeah, it was a fun game. I think it was exciting. It was fast. I thought we played really well in the first, had a really good first period, and they made a push in the second. I mean, it's such a good team over there. Obviously one of the top teams in the league. We knew they're going to have a push, but they kept tying it up, but I think we stuck with it and got the win. So it was a big game for us for sure. And obviously with the win, it's awesome.
Justin Bradford.
Hi, Roman. So one of the themes has been mental fortitude from John Hines. And obviously with the Avalanche making a couple comebacks in time this game showed a lot of resiliency from the group. What do you have to say just about how the group is resilient in terms of when a team like that is able to come back and tie it, so you guys are able to continue to push forward and still get that win?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was really good from us on the mental side. I mean, like you said, it's such a great team, and We had the lead early. They came back. We got another lead, came back. It was kind of back and forth. And I think sometimes it's easy to kind of let your guard down for a bit if you get scored on that late. But I think even on the bench, I mean, there was no negativity. It was all positive. We knew we have a chance to win the game, and we just kept going, and we got rewarded for it.
John Glennon.
Roman, I know you guys were on a roll, obviously, here in the last several games, but anything different about winning this game against a Colorado team that is so talented, such a good winning percentage and been such a roll themselves? Is this a particular confidence builder, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Like we said, I think it was a measuring stick game for us. I mean, they're one of the top teams in the league. They got a lot of talent, and it was. I think you saw it coming in the rink tomorrow. We knew it was going to be a big game, and I think you saw it in the game. It was fast. There was a little bit of everything, and for us to win that game in the way we did will definitely give us confidence going forward.
Paul Scribina.
Rowan, I don't think the dog has any questions for you tonight, but I was curious. Did this game feel like as much of a playoff game as it looked like for people watching it when you're in the moment?
Yeah, it did, honestly. I think it was definitely one of the most exciting games this year. I mean, even the crowd was awesome out there. It was loud. It was back and forth. It was fast. It was physical. I think it had a little bit of everything. It definitely was a bit of playoff atmosphere, and to get the win, it was definitely emotional with the crowd being so loud. So it was a lot of fun.
We'll do one more for Roman, then we have Matt Duchesne on deck here. Go back to Paul.
Roman, Matt's faced his fair share of criticism since he's gotten here. A big free agent signing that maybe didn't live up to expectations. But have you seen anything different this year, or is it the same guy just getting results? Or what have you noticed that maybe changed this year?
I mean, he's been unbelievable for us this year. I think just the way he's playing it, every time he's out there, he's creating chances. He's giving us opportunity to score. He's passing, making great plays, and he's scoring himself. I mean, it's just you can see it out there. I think you can see it in his play. Like I said, every time he's out there, it's dangerous for the other team. And you saw it tonight. I mean, he scored two clutch goals for us, huge goals, and he's been doing it all year. He's winning games for us, and it's.
Predators captain Roman Josi talking about his team's gutty 5-4 overtime win last night over the Colorado Avalanche at Bridgestone Arena. And you can see the look of happiness on his face as this team just continues to roll. Again, they got the Sabres tomorrow night. And I agree with Roman Josi. Last night's game felt a lot like a playoff game. And I'll tell you what, if these two teams meet in a 7-game playoff series, you can pencil that in as an instant classic. These two teams are very similar. They're fast, they're physical, and they're gutty and resilient. So, again, a big win for the Preds last night as they extend their 5-game 2022 winning streak. They haven't lost since the calendar turned to 2022. They'll look to keep it going again tomorrow night against Buffalo. You want to talk about the Predators? You can give us a call. But up next, we're going to switch attention and talk about the Tennessee Titans getting started on their bye week this week before the AFC playoffs. Of course, the Titans had the #1 seed in the AFC. We're going to hear from head coach Mike Vrabel, quarterback Ryan Tannehill, and a host of other members of the Two-Tone Blue. Straight ahead here on SportsLine on News Channel 5+.